Yo,
Yo, what's up?
not an awful lot.
So,
How's it going?
do you seriously think that Anna is mentally unwell?
Yeah, definitely.
Because she's denied it. There's no evidence that suggests that she's mentally unwell rather than that she's just in denial.
Okay, I just want to say though from the get go, like, I'm not diagnosing her because that's what got everyone into this mess. But something is clearly not right with her. Like, she doesn't seem to have any insight into her behavior at all. She doesn't seem to actually be able to comprehend, like, what, why, like, I've never seen her able to articulate the behavior
You
she's
understand
engaging
what
in.
this is, though, right? You understand what this is. It's not a mental health thing. I mean, I guess it is a mental health thing. Um, I'm let me make sure I'm using the right word. Yeah, it's psychopathic behavior.
Well, listen, I'm not gonna again. I'm not gonna
All
like
right.
fucking diagnose people because it's like not my.
No, I'm
I'm
not
not
diagnosing.
qualified.
I'm just saying to me it's psychopathic behavior.
But it's not. It wouldn't be. No, it wouldn't. That wouldn't be the right
It wouldn't be
thing.
psychopathic?
No.
Okay, because psychopath is a person suffering from chronic mental disorder with abnormal or violent social behavior. An unstable and aggressive person.
You're talking about
That's a
antisocial
psychopath.
personality disorder, and I don't think she's like. I don't
Not all
think
psychopaths are
she's.
antisocial.
Well, antisocial personality disorder covers psychopathy and sociopathy. Like that's the umbrella term.
So like the way I deem psychopath is someone who's like callous, unemotional, and essentially morally depraved.
But like it's clearly not the case that she's emotionally like she doesn't seem to have like a very dulled affect of somebody who would be psychopathic. Oh my god, I really don't want to diagnose people. But like in terms of her behavior, what I've seen from her is that she just doesn't seem to have any clear insight into her own actions and the implications of them. And so I don't want to
Man, your chat fucking hates me. It's okay.
I feel like I just feel like the way I see these
Of course, it's
situations.
speculation. I'm a Twitch streamer. That's what I do. I speculate. Even about politics, I speculate. Okay. Of course, it's speculation.
Yeah, I need to lock this channel so people don't come in.
Some people don't come in and decide to just go re at me.
Well, you never know. Okay. Listen, the reason why I have an issue with this whole situation is that I don't have a second monitor. I'm a boomer. Um, I just feel
Everyone needs to
like
gift money. That way she can get a second monitor. Gift money to get Queen Janie a second monitor. I've got four. Okay, she needs at least two.
I don't. Yeah, I don't have to. I've got a laptop, but it's not really a second monitor. Um, I find it very difficult to articulate this, but I look at people in these situations who are acting like erratically as do I think I kind of do like a mini risk assessment in my mind and I give kind of like a scoring in my mind of how much capacity I think somebody has and how much control over their emotions somebody has. And she just seems like somebody who doesn't she has not shown any insight into her own behavior. She doesn't seem to at all be able to comprehend what she's doing is wrong. She only seems to externalize, and because of that, I just think like you've got to be like because people that are psychopaths or people that are doing it out of malice know what they're doing is wrong. They just don't care. Like they're not bothered. But she seems like she just can't understand why harassing other people is like an issue.
No, okay, she knows.
She
I'm gonna have
knows
to
she's
disagree with you there.
harassing people, but she doesn't seem to understand. She seems to be
She knows
very
what she's doing is wrong,
egocentric.
though.
Well,
She
she
knows what
doesn't
she's
though.
doing is wrong.
Does she know that? Has she
But
ever
she
said
does.
that?
Yes, she does because She's DMCAing people who are using her content. She's created an entire corporation called like Ana Frills Productions or something like that, and she's DMCAing other people to that are displaying her content. And the only way you can combat a DMCA is if you dox yourself. You have to give your full name, your address, all this kinds of stuff to combat a DMCA.
But I don't think that demonstrates that she knows what she's doing is wrong. You could say that like she's clearly you could imply that she is doing it artificially to get attention and get more money if she's DMCing people. But like that would be the implication that you could hypothetically make. But I just feel like there has been a really bad sort of previous discussion about mental health on Twitch. And I have an issue with Twitch as a platform not regulating itself on these issues enough. I think when you have somebody that is extremely emotionally distressed, as she was on Zigga's panel, and everybody is just kind of sat there, like profiting
It's a
off it,
terrible picture.
and are like,
Okay, she did this on Twitch politics. You have to understand at a certain point, like when you do this on Twitch politics, that you're like, okay, so you're fucked, right?
yeah, but she was
You
brought
have to
on the
understand that
panel
at a
under the
certain point.
pretense that it was going to be like a fun panel and it wasn't going to be like that deep. And then she gets on there, and then like everyone's kind of coming at her. Obviously, she has made like huge. She's done really fucked shit. She's like harassing people, um, and that's fucked. However, she was dragged on there, and everybody went for her, and it was like a spectre at the fucking feast. It was like everybody was just watching this, and it's like you watching a car crash. And all I could think was, if she hurts herself after this, like who is going to take the blame on this? Like, how do we
Her,
divide up the
she
accountability on that?
no, she's the one who pulled the trigger. At that point, if
So
that
you
does
think there's
happen,
no? So you think you operate completely void of any external interaction?
listen, I mean, I'll get extremely personal, right? I will get extremely personal with this. In high school, I was having a text conversation with somebody who had come to me about suicidal thoughts several times. I was able to talk them out every time except for the last time. The last time that I talked to her, the last text I got from her was "See you in heaven," and after that, it was done. Um,
I'm sorry to
so
hear that.
at a certain point, you have people who are on this side have to realize that it doesn't matter what you would have done. It doesn't matter it doesn't matter what you would have done. They were going to do that either way. Like I can't blame myself for not being able to talk her out of it, for not thinking of calling the police when I was a kid. Like no, I don't think that me personally, I don't think that the person who is talking to that person holds liability
No, I
for
like,
the other's actions unless it's encouraged.
but I think if you are, it's like when we talk about this is not, I'm not comparing it to bullying, but if someone is being like horrendously bullied and then they take their own life, is the responsibility entirely on the person who's taken their own life, or is there accountability for the people that have made their life like unbearable? Because suicide at the end of the day comes from like a feeling of helplessness and hopelessness, and there are definitely times where there's not much going on externally, but you are suffering with like a neurological deficit where you are like physically not producing enough serotonin, and that is like a product of your genetic makeup or biological makeup. And then there are situations that are like reactive depression, so things that are happening outside of you that you experience, and it triggers something in you, and then you fall into the depression. And when I saw her on Zirka's stream and she was like extremely distressed, I just thought like this is so fucking uncomfortable. Like I felt weird watching it. And I think if I was like on the panel, I would have fucked off the panel. I would be like, this is just really fucked. Thank you for the bits.
You
Appreciate it.
so you would have just gotten off the panel.
Yeah, I would have left. Because it's like watching a car
Hey,
crash.
yeah, but I mean, I don't
I
know.
know it
At a certain
sounds
point,
moral
there at a
grandstanding,
certain
like,
point, it is. I mean, it is moral grandstanding. But
but I also think it's
at a
like
certain point, you
pretty
have to realize that
reasonable.
this person's doing it to themselves, right? This person's doing it to themselves. They continuously say they're being abused, even when they're not. Like it's been demonstratingly shown that they're not being abused, and they hold this position nonetheless.
But then, are
And
we
it,
not?
and in any court case, Destiny could go after defamation,
Yeah, and he should do
defamation
that.
of character.
I agree. And
But
by the way, I think that Zerka panel was towards Destiny as well, because Zerka knew that conversation was going to be brought up. He egged that conversation on. Destiny has been being harassed by this woman, and he's only furthering that harassment by starting shit. Which is why,
yeah, but
like,
she
it
has
was so irresponsible for Zerka to do that to Destiny as well. Like, it
she
wasn't
has the
just fucked for
ability to
her.
leave. She has the ability to leave. All Twitch politics is asking her to do is to stop talking about it. Like that's all we've asked her to do is just stop talking about it. That's all Destiny's asked. That's all anyone's really asked on Twitch is for her to
The
just
thing
stop
is,
talking
though,
about it.
like,
If she would just shut up about it, then there would be nothing. That nothing would be there.
well, that's why I think like there's clearly something going on because she doesn't seem to actually understand that implications of her actions. I've never seen her comprehend the like whenever I've seen her talk about what she's done, she just tries to like she doesn't make it she makes it sound she tries to make out like it's her reactions have been reasonable. And I think she genuinely believes that her actions are reasonable, and that is why I don't think it's
So
appropriate for me to like. I just
are we
I
unable to comment on like the psycho? Are we unable to comment on the psycho, pathology of like someone along the lines? And I'm not comparing the two, but someone along the lines of like Ted Bundy. Are we unable to comment on the psychopathology of him?
okay. I don't think she's gotten murdered like loads of people.
No, I'm
So
not. I'm not. Like I said, I'm not making the comparison. But at what point are we allowed to talk about psychopathology, and at what point are we not allowed to talk about psychopathology?
I just think it's irresponsible for anybody to be talking about any kind of mental health shit if they don't know what they're talking about, because there's just so much misinformation out there. Um, I just think
I mean, go ahead and look at go ahead and look at the Discord. I sent you a tweet via the Discord. I mean, go ahead and read through that interaction and let me know what you think.
in your DMs.
Hmm. You can dox DMs if you need to. I don't think there's anything
Sorry, I know
there.
there's nothing. No, I agree with you, but this is what I'm saying. I don't think she's like a victim. Like I'm I'm listen,
AKA Sprout
I
talking
no,
about
my okay,
anything.
let me
Okay.
lay this out as simply as possible. Actually, I need some water first. Get me some water and then I'm going to explain my.
All right. Uh, to Talon, aka Sprout talking about anything about mental health. Okay, yeah. I don't deal with mental health issues. I have zero mental health issues. Yeah, that's false. I have mental health issues. I take care of my mental health issues, and it's important to take care of mental health issues. But if you make yourself a public figure, then you should expect backlash when you accuse someone of abuse, and it's not abusive.
Okay, let me explain my position on this. It seems to be that whenever this has been brought up in a public setting, it's only gone on to cause more shit for Destiny. It's never been of benefit to call out Anna for her behaviour. It just seems to have made things worse. There was a time where it was like pretty chill for her, but then it was brought up again on Destiny's stream, and because of that, like it's gotten even worse. And I think the more this is dragged out publicly, the shitter it is for him. And at the end of the day, he is the victim in this. He's being harassed. He's a victim of harassment. I think he should sue her or get like a restraining order or see what other legal action he can take, because it's a very precarious situation. I would hate to be on the receiving end of it. However, does that mean that I think it's acceptable for people to platform somebody who's as erratic as Ana Frills? No, because I just think it's very irresponsible, especially when she's peddling a lot of misinformation about psychology, which can be very damaging and it kind of like she uses mental health research to justify her behavior, and I don't want that shit out there. Like, point blank period. Like, this is one of the main reasons I got on Twitch politics, because there's so much fucking misinformation going on about mental health, and it pisses me off. As somebody else who works in this field, I see her chatting shit about stuff that she clearly doesn't know anything about, and she's spreading it, and then she's using it to excuse behavior, and that annoys the fuck out of me, because it tarnishes our, like, field. It tarnishes everything when the biggest person on Twitch talking about this shit is somebody spreading misinformation, or one of the biggest, I should say. It's just fucked. Like, and I just think it's fucked for everybody involved. I don't. It's not good for anybody. Like, talking about this doesn't benefit anyone. Like, who is this useful to? Who's going to be walk away from this in a better place?
Well, first off, she should have been banned off Twitch a while ago.
Yeah, I would agree with you. I agree. I think there has to be like a code of conduct when it comes to well-being. I mean, there's already been 2 suicides off this platform. Or was one off YouTube? Like, there needs to be fucking way more regulation about what kind of distress is shown. I feel like that, I don't know how you would regulate that, but there needs to be some kind of like timeout system. And you should be able to file like a harassment, like kind of complaint against another creator, and that should be investigated. Because I just think the way it is set up now, it's just too fractious, and it's just not right, and there's a lot of shit that's gone on. Yeah, it's just a fucked situation.
So, I don't know. If we're not allowed to talk about this, the people who the DMCA on Cherry wouldn't have become public information. Like all this stuff that's happening in the background that she's doing.
No, I
Wouldn't have been
agree.
public information. So at a certain point, talk about this is a good thing. At what point do you say talk about this is a bad thing? Because I mean, if I go out there and make a fool of myself, I fully expect I've made myself a public figure. I fully expect that people are going to react to it and talk about it. And if I feel like enough of a fool, I'll just leave it alone and it'll die off.
But I don't think that just because somebody's a public figure, they're fair game for the worst type of shit. I just don't agree with that. People said that about Britney Spears when she was harassed, and then look what fucking happened. I know it's obviously not the same situation, but like, I'm just saying I don't think that's a good excuse for the way some people are treated. I feel like sometimes it's
Do
like
you think
where
Anna's being treated raw?
I don't think she should be being platformed at the minute. I think it's being exploited. I think this situation is being exploited.
You think it's being exploited?
Absolutely.
So you think that other streamers streaming the content and saying this is wrong
Well, there's
is
a difference
exploiting her?
between. There's a difference. It's a bit complicated because Cherry, if you are being DCM, whatever the fuck the letters are,
DMCA.
DMCA'd, like that you should talk about, because that's an abuse of like that process. That's like fair. You should be able to talk about that. Like, that's fucked up. And you should be allowed to call someone out publicly for that. However, I think that people
Yeah, it's
harassing
called memeing.
Anna.
It's called memeing, Timflix. It's called memeing. I don't know if you ever heard of memeing before, but it's called memeing.
I'm not
Look
looking
it
at
up
tracks, I'm
and
trying to
go to Twitter.
concentrate.
I should probably close chat out. But yeah, uh, but I think at a certain point that it comes to the point to where it's I don't know. Once you make yourself a public figure, you open yourself up to public criticism, and then once you falsely accuse someone of abusing you, you then open yourself up to the public criticism of falsely accusing someone of abusing you. And then the more you try and trying to think of the right word, try and stand up behind your false accusation of abuse, the longer it's going to go, right?
I don't listen. I'm not defending her actions. All I'm saying is that I don't think her actions should be used as a means for other streamers to profit off. It makes me uncomfortable and it feels exploitative. If I see someone, I don't know, when I see someone who is clearly like very emotionally distressed, my first thought isn't let's put them on a panel and like prod the bear and then see what happens. And then if something happens to her after the stream, it's not my fault. Like I didn't do anything. Like it's not fucking right. It's just wrong.
I'm not saying I'm not putting her on a panel. I'm not putting her on my panel.
No, I know you're
I'm
not.
not having her on my stream. But is it wrong for me to restream content that she said and say this is just wrong? Like no, this isn't abuse. If anything is abuse, it's going the opposite direction.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with you, like completely. I think she's abusing him, and that's why I think.
But that's wrong to say on stream. That's wrong to.
Well,
Look
it's
at
just the
what's
thing
happening
is
live
what we do know about this situation is it seems to flare up every time it's like talked about publicly, and it gets worse for him. So it's like we're not benefiting him by talking about it, and if at the end of the day he's kind of the victim of harassment. So like I feel like.
Well, I think Destiny knows that the entirety of Twitch politics behind him on this one, except for like a very, very, very small minority of Twitch politics.
But does he want this to be public? Like, really?
I think he wants her to stop talking about, which the rest of Twitch politics have asked her to do, but she doesn't.
But this is the thing. This has been asked by like so many different people, and it's not happened. And I don't think anyone's going to change their mind. That's on her
side, though, right?
So the issue.
That's on her side.
Yeah, but then you get into the conversation about capacity and whether somebody is really understanding their actions, because something just seems off to me that she doesn't seem to. Yeah, look at what Mad Lad said in chat. Let's talk about the very public abuse that we've seen. Zerka abusing both Destiny and Ana by inviting them onto a panel and instigating intentionally while not getting any of the blowback. Yeah, like he knew what he was fucking doing. He knew he was doing it because it was good content and that it would bring in like a fuckload of views and money for him. That's why he did it. In the most cynical and obvious fucking way, that's why he did it. And he needs to be held to account. That's fucked up, by the way. That's fucked up. Not just for Ana, who is clearly like emotionally distraught, but fucking Destiny, who's like the victim here, who's being harassed. And now he's got to deal with all this shit publicly, and it's like a spectacle.
I don't know. I've publicized drama between Crunchload and CTV. I knew what I was doing when I did it. I did it for clout. But I don't know it's necessarily wrong to publicize drama that's already publicized and just have them argue on your stream for clout. Like, if they're both willing to be there and to argue and they both know that each other are there and they're willing to do this on public stream, they've both then consented to having this public discussion, right?
Yeah, well, this is why I'm talking about capacity. I can't make a judgment because I'm not assessing her one-to-one, okay? And I'm not qualified. However, what I do know was when I see somebody who is that unable to contain their own fucking emotions and erratic and tweeting so many times and sending this many messages, it's not normal behavior. Like, this is not normal. And she doesn't seem to understand it's not normal, which is why I think there's something out, like there's something going on that she doesn't seem to like comprehend that this is like a problematic shit. Like, it seems like she can't see her behavior. She doesn't seem to have theory of mind. She doesn't seem to like comprehend that her behavior is out of line. And that's why I'm saying, like, I don't think we should exploit someone who's acting that erratic because we know it'll be funny for people to watch. Because I feel like it's like when people used to visit fucking asylums on a day out. Like, it's just fucked. It's just fucked. I don't like it. It makes me extremely uncomfortable, and it does nothing to further the conversation about mental health.
Yeah, and I don't think that letting it run rampant without...
But it wasn't running backlash. Rampant behind the scenes.
So here's the question, right? Here's the question. But it ran rampant once Ana decided to publicize all this, because Ana's the first person who publicized all of this. It ran rampant then.
I think it was when Destiny and Dan like mentioned that Destiny was talking to Ana again on stream, and then after that it became like, oh well, everyone's looking at Anna's tweets again and watching her streams, and then she is talking about Destiny, so then people are reading her like watching her streams, and Anna's not happy that he talked about her, and then yeah, it's kind of all like spiraled again. But it was more calm. By the looks of the DMs over what's in her document, it was kind of like less intense over the summertime, and it seems to have just gone off the deep end again.
So here's my question, right? It's more of a dilemma question, right? So if there's bad behavior going on, right? Is it morally wrong to bully that bad behavior out of existence?
I just don't. The thing is with me is that like it's hard for me to be objective because I've had like really really bad bullying to the point where I moved schools when I was a kid, and it's something that really I just feel like because of my own personal experience, I feel very uncomfortable when one person is being attacked and they don't seem like they're in a healthy frame of mind and they're acting very erratic, and it just makes me uncomfortable. And I think it's fucked for Destiny too. I really do, and I feel bad for him, and I don't think
Like
his the situation is being
I
taken
under
seriously enough because he's literally being
I
used.
understand I understand school bullying like is bad, right? Bullying in school, right, is bad. Um, what I did see is a lot of people bullying Trump because they disagree with his policies and they were trying to bully him into not doing whatever it was that he was going to do. So I guess in the realm of politics or in the realm of public figures, is it bad to bully bad behavior out of existence?
Well, it's different when
Is that wrong action?
I mean, I think it's a bit disingenuous to compare the president of the United States, people like arguing against his policies, to Anna Frills on
Oh
Twitch.
no! I'm not talking about people arguing against his policies. I'm talking about people holding up a decapitated head of Trump. I'm talking about I'm talking about Maxine Waters telling people to harass Trump. Those are obviously bullying and outside the line. But somehow it seemed to be okay
No, it
by the
wasn't okay.
left,
She
and
got
so
fired. That woman got fired.
but the
She got
left
under a lot of
supported
shit.
it. The left supported it.
I don't think they did.
There was
I mean,
outcries for her to be rehired.
but everyone talks about how like the Hollywood is very like liberal, and yet they fired her after she did something. So that to me
Okay,
shows
yeah,
that like they were
because
good. They weren't good
that
with
was an
that.
inherent death threat against the president, right? But is it okay to bully
I mean,
bad
I don't think it was
behavior
a
out of
death threat.
existence?
I don't think she was like literally, I'm going out here to kill the president.
No, and for the president it has to be a higher level, right, than a private individual, right?
It's right.
Oh
I was
shit!
updating my title because I feel like we're talking about this now. Thank you,
Oh
Eris, for the
shit!
follow. Welcome.
Eris is here. What's up, Eris?
We're all suffering together. Congrats, hon.
We're all suffering. What is up, Eris?
I'm so sick of this conversation. With peace and love. Listen,
But that's a moral dilemma that I'm trying to figure out. Is it morally okay to bully away bad behavior?
I don't know. Like, I feel conflicted, to be honest. I can't. I know what you're saying, but my issue isn't. I don't think that should be for like the community to have to do. I think what you should do is support the victim, which is Destiny, and then the powers that be, aka Twitch as a platform, should be the ones that regulate and have rules in place so that this shit can't happen. Like they need to
Okay,
have policy for this. It's not
so
for
let me
the
put it this way.
community to bully her out of existence or threaten
Let me put
her
it this
or
way.
do shit like that.
Let me put it this way, right? Let me try to break this down a little bit. So I had a girlfriend, and this girlfriend was constantly being harassed by some guy in her past. And when she was constantly harassed by some guy in her past, I then bullied that guy just to make sure that he would stop harassing her, because I was seen as more intimidating. He then stopped harassing her because I bullied him.
Oh Lord Jesus, this is like pressing me
Is that
now.
morally incorrect?
I'm not getting into the fucking philosophy of things, okay? I'm not getting into the philosophy of
girlfriend.
whether you should bully a bully, because that is just painful. I don't think it's the thing is for me it's like that shouldn't I don't even want to get to that question because we should not be fucking dealing with this shit. It should be Twitch dealing with it. Like why the fuck do streamers have to talk about this? It needs to be done by the platform. And that is the failing on the platform. That's not me putting blame on the streamers. My issue is that Twitch is not doing anything about this. That I'm assuming they're aware. I mean, like, there's a lot of people that have talked about this that are partnered that like will have connections to people in Twitch. Like, they must be aware of what's going on, but they're not making any like changes to make sure this type of behavior isn't acceptable. Like, she should not be on the platform at the minute. She's fucking erratic as hell. She's doing shit which is abusive to Destiny by harassing him on his streams. So why the fuck should she have a platform to do that on? She shouldn't.
Okay, so she shouldn't have the platform, and I agree. I think Twitch should have. I think Twitch should have used the ban a while ago. But honestly, I don't think Twitch cares. It's a very minute part of Twitch.
That's where I take the biggest issue. My biggest issue is that, and then what John Zerger did, which was deliberately baiting both Anna and Destiny onto that panel to cause shit for both of them. For views and money.
So,
like, do you think that's acceptable?
So you're just mad at John Zorka.
Well, yeah, he put them on a platform under false pretenses. Well, to be fair, Destiny knew what he was coming on for because he saw that Anna was on there.
Were you aware of John Zorka prior to this happening?
Yeah, I've seen his streams before.
Okay, John Zorka is a shit stirrer.
Yeah, and it's not acceptable behavior. I don't like that shit. And I don't like it in real life and I don't like it online.
Okay, but if you go on John Zerka's panels, it should be pretty much understood that you're going into a panel with a shit stirrer.
Well, they were friendly. Anna was friendly with him before the panel.
If I go on the John Zerka's panel, right, I should at least have some kind of understanding that he might bring on somebody who is good that I have beef with and try and stir shit with me.
Yeah, but like that doesn't make it okay.
In the back of my mind.
They were friendly before she went on. She's been on before, I'm pretty sure. But the reason that it was an issue is because like he deliberately brought up that topic to get it to talk about it, which is really fucked for Destiny.
I'm trying to turn assent into consent. What's assent?
Assent? I don't know. Like ascending, or I don't know. Yeah, okay. They knew it would be drama, not their drama. I mean, it was exploited. You've got to say it was exploitative to do that.
It was exploitive, but isn't that all of Twitch? Isn't all of Twitch exploitive?
No.
The entirety of Twitch is exploitive. Yes,
how is playing a video game exploitative?
It's a parasocial relationship that is dealt in order to give the streamer money.
Yeah, but if you're brought onto a panel under false pretenses and then baited and made
under false
talked about something, yeah, like she didn't know they were going to talk about that. It was brought up by him.
I have to go back and watch the panel again, but I thought one of the topics was extremely close to what was going on.
I need to double check, but yeah, it did, like, as Double Shine said in chat, like, it did feel like he was exploiting a breakdown. Like, she was to a point where even Hans, who was on the panel, looked like those people that sat on the panel that looked extremely uncomfortable.
Okay. I don't know. I'm uncomfortable anytime anyone cries on my stream.
At the end of the day, I don't want to see anyone getting like extremely upset. Like, I don't want to fucking see that. And I don't want to see people that are like in fucking shitty situations like Destiny being profited off because they're a victim of a fucking crime, aka harassment. Like,
okay. So, I mean, there's a different way I run my stream, but when you go on someone's stream that you know is a shit stirrer, right? You kind of expect, like, it's kind of like when someone comes on my panel. You've seen my panels before, right? Or at least one of them.
Yeah. But you're
So
not
you
talking about
understand
like personal drama.
but you understand it's about blood sports. Personal drama did come up on my stream. It did come up on my stream, but you understand that my panel is about blood sports, right?
Listen, the difference is though, Sprout, is that
You can't cry afterwards and be like, "Oh, there was too much blood sports."
when Rob brought up Dylan's past as a means to kind of be an asshole and say some really fucked shit, you stopped it in its tracks immediately and you didn't let it go any
I
further.
stopped it the second time. I let it go the first time.
The difference is that during this whole panel, at no point was it stopped. It kept going, even when she was way the fuck more upset than anyone on your panel has ever been.
So, I mean, I don't know. I think at a certain point, if you go into someone's panel and you've seen this panel before, it's not like some brand new panel, and you understand what the panel is, you give some kind of consent to whatever happens on this panel happens, unless
I don't
it's,
think
like,
that's
extremely wrong, like
I
doxing,
don't
like
like that
anything
idea.
like that.
I don't like that idea. That you consent to everything that goes on the panel. Well, you don't. It's not like you sign a contract and there's an agreement
No,
made.
you definitely consent to shit stirring. If you go on John Circus' panel, you consent to some sort of shit stirring.
There's just
No?
I just Sprout. You know what? I don't know why we're fucking talking about it. To be honest.
All right, we can go
What
back
insight
to
can we
we can
give?
go back. We can go back to the Destiny BX bullet thing. If you want to share your screen, we can react to that.
We're in pain here.
I just think I think that there is some moral way that okay, and you still haven't defined what assent is.
We,
Mad
all
Lad.
of us, we are all suffering here from this fucking shit.
All right, we can go back to it.
At the end of the day, all I give a shit about more than anything is good information being shared and true information being shared about mental health and making sure that people on this platform are like okay to be on. Like I just don't want to see anyone in a very, very bad state.
Okay. No, we can go back to the panel if you want to. We can go back to the Destiny and BX bullet if you want to.
Yeah. 1 second.
All right.
You know me, I'm not really about the drama. I kind of mind my business.
But panels are about drama. Like, if you've been in Twitch politics for any amount of time, you understand that panels are about drama. That's what they're about. That's why panels exist. Panels exist because of drama, because of clicks, because of views. If you want an actual discussion, then have a one-on-one conversation, like I do with Matty Cakes every other week on Mondays, and like I'm gonna have a one-on-one discussion with Wordy tomorrow about whether or not a abstinence should be pushed, and whether or not that creates a happier marriage afterwards. But I will have that discussion with Wordy tomorrow, and that's somewhere where you can actually get information. But panels is just not the place for that.
I think the difference is that in the UK we have like question time, and like it's kind of normal here for people to actually have real debates and not just scream at each other. And I feel like because of that kind of culture that I'm used to, people actually debating and talking about shit. But yeah, I'm gonna head off because I just don't want to talk about it. The whole topic just makes me very uncomfortable, as I've already said. So I'm peace out.
Okay.
I love you. I hope you have a good day.
No, you're good.
I hope you take care of yourself.
I was just. You're good.
I appreciate you stopping by.
I know.
But I don't want the beef. I don't want it.
No, you're good.
I don't want it. Ever, okay?
You're good. No love lost. You're good.
Good.